probably seen me on this SNL, maybe sometime in the past 20, 40 years. Father Guido Sarducci. So Reverend Dana, he's to bring me in all the way from the Vatican and give you an update on what we're doing about all of these things we're finding out in the church, around the church, about all of the architectural things that we've been doing. We do what these things that call architectural dig. You know, we're digging for the truth. You're all digging for the truth, right?
Yeah.
We're all looking for the truth. We look over here, we don't find nothing. We look over here, we look nothing. When all of a sudden we start looking inside and we find everything. But there's still a few things that we find outside. You know, how many have you ever heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls? Huh? The Nag Hammadi Library. There's some pretty cool things that happened back then. It's almost 50 years now. And we're still finding the new things. I'm going to share with you a little bit of the new things that we find. The Vatican has come up with some new discoveries. And my job is to tell you what they are. So, what really did Jesus say? And what really happened? For example, one of the things that we looked at recently was the Last Supper. Was not maybe really the Last Supper. It was more like a brunch. And we find out that when we dig hard enough, we find the actual check from the and we see here that the one guy, I don't have a name, I don't know who it is, but the one guy, he only ordered a soft-boiled egg and toast. That's it. The other guys, all of the other guys, they have a Ganesh, they're having the lox and the bagels, the whole thing, big spread, you know, with a schmear. And then at the end of the brunch, they divide up the check equally. So the lesson from the Last Supper is when you go out in a group, order the most expensive thing. Because you're going to end up paying equal anyway. The next thing that we find out is about Moses. Now this goes all the way back to Old Testament for those of you who don't read a lot of the Bible. And the Old Testament, there's a few things that we like to talk about, especially in the missing commandments. You probably thought it was like a 10, right? No, that's 15. You see, what happened was Moses. He's on the top of Mount Sinai. And he's getting the 15 commandments. But on his way back down, he slipped. It was a little slippery rock. He slipped, he dropped it. If you don't believe me, go watch the movie. Charlton Heston did the whole thing, dropped the commandments. He threw them down. They didn't really slip. He slipped, dropped them. And in the camping out on the side of Mount Sinai is this guy. He's starting fires in bushes over there. And he sees all of the pieces of the original 15 commandments, and he puts them in a sheepskin. And we find out later that this guy was a descendant of the famous biblical character Esau. His name was a Jigsaw. And he put the pieces of the tablets together, and so now we have for you some of the new, before heard of commandments. And they were really more like a suggestion. They weren't like, don't do this and thou shalt not do that. It really was. It was more like a suggestion, like wait half hour after you eat before you go swimming. kind of like that. There were really 15, and so we know the difference now. One of the things is like, don't put anything bigger than Q-tip in your ear. These are suggestions so that you might get along a little bit better. They're all like in a real old writing. We're not sure whether it's Hebrew or Greek or Aramaic or anything like that, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out what they are, and the next time I come in, we're going to look at some of the things that were under the other 3 commandments that we didn't know before. So if you are interested, you sign up for the tour of the Vatican on your way out. And we're going to pressure the Pope to make sure he gives us all of that information. Are you with me? Okay, so now what I want you to do is spend the rest of the day, the whole rest of the day, doing only one thing. And the one thing that I want you to do is to be happy. Could you be happy for me? Just one a day, out of the rest of the day, find the place you find your happiness. Be there. I gotta go. St. Paul Episcopal, wait for me. So I see you all later.